promised you coffee, here's coffee. So that's how the Pinasco rims are delivered. In this square box, plastic bag full of hardware and parts you need for assembly. And then here's the rims. I like them in black. They're just zip tied together, you pinch the zip ties off, and you can take them apart. The wider side obviously mounts towards the fork, while the narrow one mounts towards the outside. You can see the little indenture for the Vuitton ring. The instructions for both in English and Italian comes with a Vuitton ring and a valve stem. Bless you. Gotta keep drinking my coffee because I promised you coffee. So first step on the instruction is they tell you to put the valve stem in. In order to do so, you grease them up and you try to fiddle it through, which was a bit of a learning curve. I found out that taking a zip tie and pulling it through like this was the easiest, but I think there's a couple of tools you can use to do that. I didn't have them at hand. Just make sure your valve stem points in the right direction. So the next step the instructions tell you is to grease up the Vuitton ring. I just use simple, workshop grease, and mount him on the larger half of the rim. Put some grease on it and pushed it down so it sticks, because when you mount them together you don't want this ring to come loose. So because I don't like to scratch my stuff, I put it on a nice towel, and it was time to put the tire on, which is in this case a Heidenau K80. Make sure you get the direction right, and then you mount the valve where this little circle is. You just mount it on the lower half and you push it down and it should bead right on there. Once that is done, you take your narrow side and you put that on and you align the holes. I'm still working on my coffee, not done with it yet. So in terms of hardware, you have the mounting nuts, you have the bolts, and you mount the washers on the bolts, and then you have the normal hex nuts, and I like to put a little bit of Loctite on them. So you have round holes on one side where you put your bolts with washers, and then on the other side you have hex shaped holes where you put your hex shaped nuts in them. And then once that sticks, you just take your Allen wrench and you tighten them down. I did the opposite side because you want to tighten crosswise, and you just keep going all the way around until it's closed. And Pinasco tells you to torque them at 1.8 kilos. Once you put initial pressure in, release the pressure again for the tire to set properly. And then fill up to your desired pressure. Do not go over 3 bars, that's what Pinasco tells you. That's it, done. Time to put it on the bike. Because I do run this Grimeca aftermarket disc brake conversion kit, it didn't fit on straight away. Pinasco says it's a tight fit, so you gotta use like a mallet. But you can see here that the hub itself is just too large. Comparing this to a stock P200 hub, this just fits right on. But that wasn't a big deal, because we just took a file and took some of the material off. It doesn't matter because you can't see that this side of the hub anyway. After we took a little bit off on each side, yeah, boom, fits right on. And all that's left is just torquing down to normal specs, and you're done. All that was left is to test them out on a ride on the street. Legally, of course. This concludes our 3-part series of me putting new suspension and wheels on my P200. I hope you enjoyed it. I've done about 100 miles so far, and I really do enjoy it. If you have anything to say, let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I promise you I'll be back soon with more on my sleeve. Did someone say small frame?